galactic resonance field, otherwise described as our united, universal superbeing, but also our inner microcosmos. Our thoughts, depending on the origin of their level of consciousness, activate the chakras. These in turn determine our density or physical frequency, which in the end plays a vital role in the hormonal balance and metabolism, as well as in other bodily functions. The seven seals are the seven heavens of consciousness within us. The risen masters of earlier cultures were aware of the laws. Like man, the planetary structure has 7 bodies. These 7 bodies are also called the 7 zones of consciousness, or 7 dimensions. Within man, there are 7 physical chakras, or 7 doors of energy which attract spiritual energies from the inner cosmos. These doors of energy move together with the psyche and the entire human consciousness. Every opening within the human consciousness increases the speed of the chakras. This opening up of the cosmic flower grails permits the body to acquire a higher electromagnetic frequency and take up more etheric energy. Thus, the human body has 2 sources of energy supply: the combustion engine and the cosmic motor of resonance.
After December 31st, 2011, when the doorway of the 1111 closes, what happens is those 2 overlap spirals of evolution will now separate, and we will again wait eons for another opportunity like this beautiful one that we're given right now. For those of us who did choose to live in oneness, we will find that we are now aligned with a greater central sun system. Planet Earth will be making this journey with us, and the first stop along the way, on the other side of the door, so to speak, is what we call Octave 11. And Octave 11 is when they'll be very active, building on the new, great creativity, totally new forms of everything. There will be some beings, when they reach Octave 7, who will say, well, I'm not really so interested in this, I'd like to still yet go further. So a small group of beings will join together in the middle of Octave 7 and unify into an even deeper oneness and continue on the homeward journey to a level of consciousness which we call Octave 11. Over the years, as we've been awakening, there's been a great deal of discussion about our light bodies. And we finally realized that somewhere we have these elusive light bodies. And of course, we've been reading books how to find our light body and doing special practices and exercises and eating certain foods so we can find these elusive parts of our beings. And the big joke, of course, is that we've been wearing our light bodies all along. We have them here. For so long we thought we had this physical body with this little tiny flame of spirit here in our heart. And then as we awaken and remember and become vaster and vaster, you see that all along we've been wearing these vast bodies of light, and inside of them is this little tiny physical body. So we're going to be stepping more and more into what we call the invisible. The invisible, the unseen, is going to be seen by us, and that means living our lives more consciously in our bodies of light, bringing it all down all the way through the physical.
The masters of ascended cultures knew that the ascension was a gradual widening of consciousness. The higher self helps us with the process of completion. If man keeps on communicating with his cosmic monad and listening to his inner voice or intuition, the person will be reborn in the spirit. The higher understanding will open to him from the inner cosmos, and Buddhi, or Christ from within, also called the third eye. Then, man develops into a superhuman. Through having opened the third eye, which is also called God's eye, man is connected to the cosmos and is able to read from the universal Akashic records. The Akashic records are all the saved linear knowledge of the past, the future, as well as the development of the cosmos and its plans. Humans who have reached this state were called the Enlightened Ones. These people have dedicated their lives to the universal serving of mankind. The total opening of these chakras in their highest frequency meant that the atoms within man also could not keep the energy on a physical level anymore. The completion was an ascension into a spiritual dimension. Some masters have been taken on board light spaceships by extraterrestrials. Other masters, however, of whom no grave can be found, have mastered the physical ascension. They opened the 7 seals and rose into a higher state of consciousness, owing to their activated light body.
I think the majority of humanity on this planet are aware that there are other beings, what we'd call extraterrestrials. Some say these extraterrestrials are just future humans who have crossed through simultaneous time, that we on this level are bound by linear time, but when you move up into higher dimensions, higher frequencies, you realize that past, present and future coexist. Also too, when you move into higher dimensions and higher frequencies, you become aware of what we term beings of light. In other words, other expressions of the divine that live and exist in many other realms. The universal brotherhoods are here at this time in service to humanity. They have said that we have been in kindergarten, that our conscious awareness has been too low to be invited to join what is called the Intergalactic Federation of Worlds, that as Earth takes on board the higher light energies, the higher frequencies, as we bring through that shift in conscious awareness within ourselves and literally grow up, learning to treat each other with love, harmony, acceptance, unconditional love, recognizing the uniqueness of all and our individual contribution. When we have achieved that, we will then be invited to join the universal brotherhoods.
The Easter Island statues tell the story of ascending Lemurian masters who achieved ascension in very old age. Fearing for the loss of their authority, our religious organizations and the secret connections to the lodges first destroyed, or rather falsified, the remains and the true evidence of the wooden and stone tablets of the Easter Islands, and then the Alexandrian Library, many other testimonies of time, and the true message of Christ. This message may be new. We are all Christ, sons and daughters of God, who have an immortal soul, and moreover, when we have reached completion, we become immortal with a universal body.
The issue of androgyny is very important at this time upon the planet, simply because, as we can see, there is a need to balance the male and female energies to create complete balance and harmony. The energy that sustains us, that God essence, is androgynous, and we actually have, in fact, masculine and feminine expression of energy within us. A lot of people now are being guided to balance those energies within so that they are more whole, more complete in their expression, instead of just being particularly female or playing a role as society has dictated. In other words, there's nothing a woman can't do, there's nothing a man can't do. That we come from a point when we relate to each other of complete balance and wholeness. How does immortality function in the new millennia? Immortality can be looked at many different ways. Most people are familiar with the immortality of the soul. However, as we tune to the higher frequencies, the higher octaves of light, many of us are now becoming aware that we're also physically immortal, that we can control cellular regeneration and degeneration, and that there is absolutely no requirement for the physical body to either age or die. We, the light workers, have very specific roles to play at this point in Earth's history, and I myself would rather finish the work that I have to do here, then take my physical body up into light, or just leave it when I'm ready. To allow the physical body to age and decay, for me, is simply poor time management, when there are many tools and techniques and a natural state of beingness that can occur as we tune to the light energies and allow that God essence, the Christ consciousness within, to step forward.
After the chakras of a person have opened up, this person overcomes all physical laws and thus becomes one with the universe and a lawmaker himself. When the inner and outer cosmos are in unison, heaven and earth